Welcome to Mereak Firmaxe Rebuilds Moria, Episode 2, Preview of Crystal City. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe below. So I don't normally make preview videos, but after the fireside chat the other day and Sleeper Agent kicking the crap out of that last contest to create a magnificent place inside of the Crystal Descent, I started building down there. So about a week ago I spent a couple days, created a new sandbox because there's multiple Crystal Descents in the sandbox, and I didn't know how it was going to lay out. And I did one build a while back in the Crystal Descent after Durin Deathless did it, and it's not my favorite area. It is difficult to build in. There's a lot of dead zones, particularly around the crystals. Everything's off grid. It's twisted. And so I never really built here, but Sleeper Agent did such an excellent job. So I decided to give it a go. So I spent like 2 days, 3 days after work ripping through a sandbox and then clearing out one of the Crystal Descents, and then I've been building. I'm only on day 70 in the game, so it was pretty much a speed run with just the backpack, and of course I am using the two mods, my favorite two mods: Epic Item in Any Slot, and then the Fat Stacks. So we are in the bottom of the Crystal Descent. There's or one of them, the Forgotten Descent, in the sandbox, and you see the unmovable stone down here. And I plugged all the water, and I started making a city, which I'm going to call the Crystal City. Which is ironic because in Virginia, where I live, there is a place called the Crystal City. Oh, I forgot a pillar up there. This is just the infrastructure. I haven't decorated anything yet, which is why it's a preview. In fact, I'm open to suggestions from folks on what they think or where they think I should decorate. I will tell you that the Crystal Descent is broken up into 3 sections, and I went back through several games deep. It is quite high, at least 3, and each one of the 3 can be rotated slightly. There are 34 stories. Story determined by a tall stone set of stairs. It's also the height of one wall. So from the base down here all the way to the top, just below the wooden opening, that wooden scaffold with the ropes that you have to repair normally in campaign, there are 34 stories high in the Crystal City. Now I don't have every one of them a floor. That would just be insane. But as you see, it goes quite high. Each one of these rooms, by the way, that are stacked up that make up the Crystal Descent, or what I like to call game tiles, not only can they be twisted, various openings open and closed, but they're offset from one another. So it's not a straight shot all the way up from the top to the bottom. They are offset quite a bit, actually. Alright, I'll just give a quick tour here. I built a tower here, a tower keep. This would be a big mansion. It's kind of getting a lighthouse vibe. Anyway, I just built this because, you know, I felt like it one day after work. Alright. So, the central set of stairs is pretty straightforward. 2 stairs separated by a double wall, back to back. It's a switchback configuration with a landing. 4 adamant pillars in each corner, 3 granite pillars on each side, and in between the 2 on the outside, 1. And so that's a repeating pattern. Ooh, might find a piece or 2 of stuff that I dropped. You see a landing up there. I did build some walls where it made sense. I also have these little nooks I don't know what to do with, but I cleaned it all up. And so this is the bottom floor. I don't know what to do in there. Anyway, let's start walking up. Oh, I'm missing a piece. Every once in a while, I don't know if maybe that was the piece that fell down. I left it most of the time very open. You can see the top of the lighthouse. I've got a nice slate roof on the edges there. I don't know, I just wanted to get creative. The adamant pillars are in a quasi-grid pattern right up until I couldn't use a grid pattern because of the interference from the crystals or dead zones. And there are several hidden non-crystal related dead zones here. I have no idea why. Alright, so we'll come up here and we come to our first landing. Now every time I went into a landing, I made sure that the structure was embedded into all the stone walls that I could get a hold of, obviously having to avoid the crystals. Now the reason I did that is for stability, and I wanted to reset the height, because the higher you go, the less distance there can be between the pillars you're putting down. Oh. Forgot to put that back. For example, I couldn't get anything. I could get the wall close, but this, I mean the embedded into the wall and the floor close to the crystal, but I could not get it any closer than this once I got to this height. But it was important to stay connected to as much of that rock as possible, so I just put up a nice railing out here. Let's continue to go up. I had to widen this one out a little bit because I had to avoid some dead spots. So you'll see I added a ledge on one side, and it'll shift over as we get up. Right here. And it was just the orientation. The difficult part of this build was the orientation and avoiding the dead spots and things like this bridge that's destroyed, but you can't rebuild it and it's uneven. So I just hid them as best I could and worked around it. Alright, coming up to the second landing. Ooh, I'm missing a pillar here. That must have fallen down, or I forgot to put it in. Looks like it should be stable. Maybe I destroyed it by accident. Some days I build pretty late at night. I like how the light shines off of the crystals. So this is one of the offsets. You notice that I came up here. This was the height that I could get to. But then the opening to continue to go up in the center is way over here. So this must be where two of those game tiles touch. I think the big high ceilings look pretty cool. Oh, I'm missing some granite up there too, or adamant. I'll have to fix that. Now these had a couple of rooms. This was a spider's nest. I hit it the best I could. Can't get rid of this. It's attached to the wizard mark. Let's go into one of these caves. I partially finished off the caves, and there's enough room in here to be multi-floored, so we'll go on the top first. This balcony overlooks several levels. No idea what I'm going to do with this space yet. I was going to make this. Now you'll notice a set of stairs here. We'll go down and you'll see where that comes out. I was going to make this like a multi-story in brew pub. I love my brew pubs. When I do have friends, we kind of hang out and sing every night. You know, just chat. There are a couple of rooms here. Of course, not decorated. I usually lay out, someone asked me, how do you come up with floor plans? You have to be dynamic and stick to your building principles first. But I like laying things out with just normal walls and then putting other walls either over the top or whatever. I figured this would be a nice, you know, put a bar over here and then a bunch of tables and lights, and then down or the top of the brew tanks. I haven't figured that out yet. We have a landing. This is where I was going to put brew tanks. I just built this, no really reason why. And it comes down to a nice landing that doesn't really lead anywhere, but it looks over things. I couldn't get close because of all the crystal. Unless I went up over the edge that way, but it didn't make sense. And of course, some of these pieces of wood you can't get rid of. There is a shadow down here. You'll see I left the lamp, Durance lamp. Maybe the pub area will be up here. Anyway, let us continue to go up. Nothing you can do about most of that wood, so I left it alone. Here's another part of a bridge. Just have to leave it there, you can't destroy it. Before I forget, I don't know what happened to these. Sometimes pieces don't align right, I think, and they fall off. It got a lot better after the first patch. But sometimes when you do very large builds like this, I still get some. I do use this 3x3 grid quite a bit. Alright, continue to go up. Okay, this is the 4th landing. Obviously, you see I had to put in another hearth. Built this platform over what was a bridge, but I couldn't figure out how to hide that. I was going to put a statue over it, but when I decorated, sometimes you just got to avoid what you can and cover up the rest. Now this level, this floor, has 2 openings. This is the first one. It actually leads into a part of the Red Horn lode that's disconnected from the other areas, which I thought was interesting. It doesn't seem. And from adventuring, I put a stone in here. Plenty of space to build something else in here, and plenty of height. I'll probably put in another house or tower. Then I have this area. Now this is how I originally got here. And this is an interesting thing if you're not familiar with the sandbox. You can take hidden deep passages in between areas. So this connects to over here, though you can't see it on the map, and I'll show you why. So if you go down in here, I'm going to open this door. Look at the mini map in the upper left. It goes away. This is actually a walk into dark mine shaft. Now I've mined a bunch of the gems out of here, and of course there's spiders and stuff, so I'll finish mining this out. So this is the entrances on this level, and we can continue to go up. I'm missing a piece. Maybe I should have gone over everything before the video. I'm sure it happens to all the big builders. You either forget. Oh, I try to go in patterns that I've proven out as stable. But sometimes I forget pieces, or sometimes they fall down. You can see the floor down there and the light off the crystal. Alright, 5th landing, I believe. Plenty of space to build stuff up here. This area was really weird. At first I could put everything in except for that hole in the floor, but then I couldn't build anything up here. So there's there was an unbuildable area wedged in the middle of the room in between 2 other buildable areas. Didn't really make sense. I did build a victory arch because I felt like it the other day. Don't know why. Trying to go for the same aesthetic as I did. Alright, 6th landing. One of the things that you need to be careful of is to avoid gaps. Sometimes in between these and top and bottom you'll get a little gap, and like that. Alright, I'm going to have to come back and fix that. That gap is not good. Those gaps have got to be gone. They cause instability. When they're touching, that's the best. I'll fix those. Counting out your squares, putting things in order in a grid always helps. This area right here, I plan on putting a large building in, so that'll add structural support. It'll be 3 or 4 stories tall. But there's plenty of structural support here now. This is another one of those offsets. We're now entering the 3rd game tile. This was a cave. We can go down. That was a spider nest. Don't know what I'm going to do within here, but I'll figure it out. A large open area here, maybe for crafting. Maybe I'll put a forge here and storage. It's a nice little area. Alright. What did I say? 6th landing? I think I said 6th landing. Yeah, 34 of these stairs. Not quite endless, but it's a lot. Seventh landing. This is getting near the top now. This area is pretty stable, largely buildable except near the crystal. Eighth landing will get us to the top. Alright, this is the top where you normally drop down to get to the spiders. See the wooden area there. You can't build anywhere near that. You can't build pretty much anywhere above of where I've already built. You can't build anything on that scaffold. Nothing on the wood, nothing on the crystal. It's all a dead zone. But I built this giant building here. I don't know why. It's got a bunch of rooms, like where you would live or have shops. Garrison house. Now, before I show you this one, these are all multi-room flats. Sorry. Let's see. These are just houses. Nothing fancy. Alright, we can go up. You can put stuff up here as long as it's low. You can't really build up. I was disappointed you couldn't build like a little wooden stair or anything here. You just gotta hop. I haven't done anything to this room. This room is certainly buildable. I did enclose the area with stone as close as I could get to the crystal, but you can't hang anything over the edge. And I don't believe you can fill in the center. I tried, and it does collapse. But this room is pretty big. I've got to seal off the entrances and clean it up. While I'm building, I turn the settings for horde attack and everything on minimal. And I haven't gotten attacked here yet. In fact, I got a horde once or twice. I could never find where they were. It's like it triggered and they're like, I don't know where to go. Anyway, oh. Well, that's it. The Crystal City, core infrastructure, no decorations. Tell me what you think, what you think I should add, where I should add it. Plenty of space here. So far, so good on performance. Normally I can get a couple hundred frames a second, though I limit it because of my monitors to 117. Right now I'm hovering right around 40, 45 in that area. It's not horrible. The more you do build, the more it slows down. I think it's just the objects in the game. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching Mereak Firmaxe Rebuilds Moria. Episode 2, Preview of Crystal City. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe below.